this video, I'm gonna talk you through one of the scenarios in which using basic tasks really makes sense in big picture. This video is part of our effort to provide you the best training possible around the Jira, Confluence and whole Atlassian ecosystem. If you would like to support us, leave a comment under the video, subscribe to the channel, and remember, you can always reach out to us for our paid services like consultation, trainings, or even implementation. Okay, so let's jump back into big picture. And let's start by saying, what are the basic tasks? So the basic tasks are tasks that you can plan from within big picture or create within big picture that are visible only here. So this is the main difference between standard Jira issues that can be pulled into big picture box and basic task. Basic task will not be visible anywhere else outside of big picture. So usually we do not recommend using them to our customers, especially that their functionality is very much limited compared to standard task. So with all that limitations and with the fact that they are not visible outside of big picture, what is a good use case to actually use them? When you might want to use them and when they might be a better idea than standard Jira issues. So imagine that you have a project that is delivered by your team and you created a box to which you pulled in all the tickets from this project and you want to start doing the planning. Over here we have a pretty standard structure, so we have epics at the top, children's that are tasks or stories, lower there could be some subtasks. But for you as a project manager, this hierarchy is not really sufficient. You need to have additional level of hierarchy representing, for example, project phases. You could do this as Jira tasks, but that would require change in configuration of your instance, probably introduction of new issue type. And honestly, a lot of times we see that our customers do not want to introduce that kind of information as additional issue in Jira because it might basically just cloud the view for normal end user, for people who are delivering the tasks and not doing the planning. In that case, using basic tasks to group work into specific larger entities is very useful and very helpful. And there are actually several interesting features that makes that even more beneficial. So let's create one or two basic tasks. I will just call them simply analysis and maybe second one development. And let's start doing the grouping. So because these basic tasks do not exist inside of Jira, so they are not actually tickets, all the grouping that will be done under them has to be done manually. So I have two epics. Let's say that two of these epics are actually done within analysis phase, right? So I will just take this and drag it over here and the other one too. So you can see that another level of hierarchy appeared, and we can do the same for the development. So I will just drag two random epics over here. Now, what you can already see is that these tasks are visible on the timeline. We can see that there is auto bottom up period. So basically start and end date of the task is dependent on the start and end date of its children. So depending on how we plan tasks within our epics or on our epics in general, it will change, or it can change end date of our parent tasks, or of our phase in this case. This makes it really nice because now if we collapse everything that is under our analysis task, we can see clearly on the timeline when work that we grouped under this basic task starts and when it ends. Right, but you might say that grouping many tasks under single basic task and distilling them, all the information from them on the timeline in one single bar is nice, but that's a bit of an overkill if that's all that you get, right? But now imagine that someone comes to you and asks, okay, could you tell me how much work we actually need to deliver in our analysis phase? Thanks to basic tasks, you can do that. So you can see that I pulled over here two columns, status and original estimate. For us, the original estimate will be the estimate that we're using to see how much work has to be done. You can see that values are provided on the lower level over here. So the nice thing about basic tasks is that they can be used for aggregation. So I will edit this column and I will set it so that on the parent level we will see the sum of the children without parent. So let's do that. Yeah, and over here you can see that on each level that has children we also have value. So now not only on the children level, and we can see that on the analysis phase we have 1 hour 55 minutes, which for now is not much, but obviously the project may grow. So again, we can collapse that and see the distilled information solely on this level. So we do not have to go and check one by one how it looks for first epic that is planned for analysis, for the second, everything is in one place. Exactly the same situation with the status. If someone asks you about the progress of certain phase, we can use status field, do the aggregation, children status categories, and we will see exactly the number of tasks that are on the lower level with each status category. If that is not good enough progress indicator for you, we can pull out time tracking information and see actual progress bar based on estimates and time spent. Of course, we need to ensure that the proper aggregation is selected. And now on each level, we see information from the children level. So on the analysis level, on the basic task level, we have pretty nice overview of what is happening on the lower levels. This feature works with all the information that is stored in the field on issue level. So basically, if there is a custom field, for example, number custom field, you can pull it out and see sums or averages or anything else that is available in aggregation option on the basic task level. So I hope that you already see how useful this can be for example, reporting or keeping track of progress and on what is happening within our project. Let me just add that in some cases, the fact that these tasks do not exist on Jira as separate issues is actually beneficial, because when we are moving, when we are changing the structure over here, for example, by dragging task from one basic task from under one basic task under the other, it doesn't leave any other trace outside of BigPicture. We do not see this reflected on Jira issue level. So this actually allows us to do during the planning different setups, check different things, maybe so to say scenarios, although scenarios are a completely different feature, without impacting issues and without being asked too many questions. Hey, why did this thing changed, right? So this gives us a lot of flexibility, but also some basic and very, very useful features that gives us insight into what is happening. I hope you liked that video. Basic tasks are actually discussed very, very detailed and in depth in our BigPicture training, so please check this out. There is several more use cases in which I think that basic tasks are very useful. So if you're interested in that, go check out our training, and that will be it for today. Thanks.